Ever crash on a floor mattress and think, wow, why does this feel better than my actual bed? Stick around, because the right floor futon can change sleep, guests, and tiny spaces for good. Here's what matters. This isn't a top 5 pulled from thin air. It's a clear rundown of what these floor mattresses actually feel like over real use, how they unpack, how they support, and when they annoy, delight, or surprise. By the end, there'll be zero mystery about which one belongs in a guest room, dorm, living room, or a minimalist bedroom. Let me explain. 5. MAXYOYO Japanese Floor Mattress. The MAXYOYO is the classic Amazon-famous futon. Firm core, quilted top, microfiber cover, rolls up with straps, and tucks into a storage bag when not in use. When it first arrives, it's vacuum-packed and starts expanding right away, but, well, you'll still want to give it time to fully plump, ideally a few hours minimum, and the brand suggests up to 48 hours in sunlight for best loft. If that sounds fussy, yeah, I felt that too. But after it settled, the feel landed in that firm with cushion pocket that works for back and side sleepers, who don't want to feel the floor pressing up into hips or shoulders. Night 1, after expansion, support was better than expected for a budget futon. The high-density foam layer prevents that sinking hammock effect, while the polyester cushion layer softens initial contact points. If the floor is tile or hardwood, it feels stable and breathable. On carpet, the base gets warmer and slightly mushier, so airflow drops and support feels less consistent. You know, that vague, is this too warm sense at 3 a.m.? A tatami or hard surface fixes that and boosts comfort more than you'd think. Living with it, storage is fine for twin or full. Once you hit queen, it's bulkier than the photos suggest, and rolling it tight solo can be a mini workout. The included straps help, and the dustproof cover is a legit win for keeping debris off if you leave it down for a few days. 4. Dr.Futon Japanese Floor Futon Mattress. Dr.Futon goes for a more traditional shikibuton vibe, foldable, minimal, and meant to be a sleep pad you can air out, store, and reset quickly. The first impression is that compact, throw it down, roll it up simplicity that makes futons so appealing in small spaces. The feel leans firm with modest cushioning, so spinal alignment is clean if you sleep on your back or switch between back and side. It's light enough to move daily without grumbling, and it folds tighter than chunkier foam core options, which makes it friendlier for studio apartments or multi-use rooms. In use, it rewards routine. If it's aired and flipped regularly, it stays fresher and more supportive. On hard floors, it has that properly grounded feel. Put it on plush carpet and the support gets vague. With a tatami underneath, comfort jumps and humidity management improves. Big plus if the local climate runs damp. It's also a natural fit for quick guest setups or meditation spaces where a thicker mattress would feel out of place. Where it let me down a bit is loft. Depending on which variant, some units feel thinner than the marketing photos convey once fully settled. And if body weight is higher or side sleeping is the norm, hips may want more cushion over long stretches. Over a week straight, I noticed compression patterns that needed sunning and flipping to reset. Three, ZonLi Japanese Floor Mattress. ZonLi threads the needle between cushioned comfort and foldable utility. The structure uses dense support with a softer quilted surface, so the first touch is welcoming while the core keeps posture honest. It rolls and stows without drama, and the materials feel durable enough to survive guest rotations, movie nights, and the occasional "let's turn the living room into a sleepover" scenario. What stood out was temperature behavior on hard floors, stable, not swampy. On carpet, it still does fine, but like most futons, benefits from a firmer base if the sleeper runs hot. After expansion, the feel was medium firm with enough top layer give to keep shoulders happy on side. Over a week, it maintained loft better than expected for the thickness. If you rotate it every couple days, the surface stays even and the edges don't collapse when sitting. In a dorm or small guest room, it's easy to recommend. Use cases: temporary bed for visitors who actually get a good night's sleep, a travelable spare for road trips or cabins, or a minimalist primary setup when the plan is floor first with clean lines. Cleanup is straightforward, and the cover options tend to be practical rather than flashy. It's the kind of futon that doesn't demand extras, but pairing with a tatami or thin base mat still adds a noticeable upgrade in both feel and airflow. It doesn't chase ultra plush, so if someone wants memory foam hug, they'll want to add a topper. Number 2. WhatsBedding Japanese Floor Mattress. This one surprised me. WhatsBedding takes the familiar floor futon profile and adds a more luxurious hand feel. Think soft, lofted quilting up top with a supportive body underneath. The immediate reaction is, ooh, that's comfy. And then, after a full night, the spine checks out too. Side sleeping is especially solid. Shoulders and hips settle without bottoming out, which isn't always guaranteed at this thickness tier. Unboxing is simple. It expands reliably and doesn't need an eternity to feel sleep ready. A couple hours takes it from wrinkled pancake to, yep, let's go. And another day of rest gets you full loft. Over a longer week, I saw minimal flattening day to day, and it bounced back with light rotation. On hardwood or a tatami, airflow stays decent and the base feels crisp. On carpet, it's still bed, though I'd recommend a firm underlayer for heat control and posture. What I liked most is the versatility. This works as a primary sleeping pad for minimalists who appreciate comfort without a full bed frame, and it's outstanding for guests who might be picky about pressure points. It's travel-friendly, easy to store, and looks clean in a modern space. If the room doubles as a home office or studio, rolling it up doesn't feel like a chore. Here's the kicker. Among the modern futons, this is the one that feels closest to a compact mattress rather than a strict pad. 1. Aircliff Japanese Floor Futon Mattress. Aircliff takes the top spot because it nails the basics and adds polish where it counts. The construction reads thoughtful. Supportive core that resists sagging, a cushioned top that's genuinely comfortable, and materials that feel breathable and clean against the skin. First night impressions were strong. Alignment stays neutral and back in side positions, and there's that just enough cradle to keep pressure points calm without sinking into the floor. Where it separates itself is consistency. Over multiple nights, loft stayed even with light rotation, edge sitting didn't crush the perimeter, and rolling it for storage didn't turn into a wrestling match. It doesn't feel fragile. This matters if it's going to be used regularly, not just for the occasional guest. On hard floors, airflow and stability are excellent. With a tatami underneath, the feel becomes quietly premium. On carpet, it still performs, though, as always, a firm base unlocks its best support. Little quality of life wins add up. It expands promptly, doesn't carry weird odors, and the surface finish feels more refined than basic microfiber. For small apartments, this can absolutely pass as a primary sleep setup without feeling like a compromise. For a guest room, it's the one that gets compliments the morning after. And if this is going into a dorm or shared space, durability plus comfort is exactly the combo to bet on. Final thoughts. So which one you like the most? Comment below.